I remember Deontay got so frustrated. He said, "Dad,
hold on for a minute, let me count mine. You know. Ask me what I'm doing, just grinding. Haters wanna hate, let them hate, never mind them. Be more bins, tryna reach the next plateau. And I can't stop till I achieve my goals. Keep a couple feeds inside the photos, so official with the vibe, you can kick up my zone. Hold on for a minute, let me count mine. You know.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Damion Crier, and I'm back with another video. If you guys haven't subscribed to the Crier family, man, all you gotta do is turn that bell on so you subscribe to the channel. Also, I will be dropping the links to my reaction channel and my prank channel, which is Damion Crier. Also, go follow me on Facebook at Damion Crier on my Damion Crier Facebook page. I'm gonna be dropping videos on that channel as well. My reactions have been kind of hit and miss because I have a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to make this video very long, nor is this going to be like a sad emotional video. Well, I'm gonna try not to make it a sad and emotional video anyway. Every year around this time, I do a video in remembrance of my oldest son, Deontay. I actually have him sitting next to me in a photo collage that Erica actually had this made for me about 2.5 years ago. I think it was either, it was 1 year, and she surprised me with it on Deontay's birthday, which is today, February 5th. And it means a whole lot to me. And reason being, you know, it's not just the fact that she got it made, which was so special to me because I was not expecting for her to, you know, do something like this, to be that thoughtful of me at this time of the year when I go through stuff like this. Normally when I do go through stuff like this, I'm really standoffish. You know, I don't want to be bothered with nobody. I just want to be by myself. But this year is a little bit different. I guess because as time goes on, you do kind of heal from things that's done happen in your life tragically. You know, I've said Deontay has been gone 6 years now. This March coming up, this May will be 6 years that he's been gone. And I miss him dearly. You know, I don't know how to express that enough. But what I was saying was, it wasn't just the fact that she had got this photo made for me that I could have with me everywhere that I go. Sometimes I do weird stuff with this photo, man. And when I say weird stuff, the stuff that I do may be weird to some, but to me it's not. Sometimes I hang this photo up in my front room. Sometimes I hang it up in my bedroom. Sometimes I'll keep it in my car with me, because it makes me feel like that my son is right here with me. You know, losing a loved one is not easy at all, guys. I mean, it's like the hardest thing in the world to ever experience, especially when it's one of your own children. You know, because we always say that we should never bury our children. You know, our children should bury us. And like I said, this year it's a little bit different for me. I still got really mixed emotions about everything. There are some things that I'm still confused about, and Deontay knows it. He knows it. Me and him have a little secret that we'll never tell anyone. But there are some things, you know, that I'm still confused about. And when I say me and Deontay have secrets, it's what I mean by that is I talk to Deontay all the time. Literally, I talk to him all the time in my prayers. I have dreams about him. You know, there's been so many times that went past where I actually blame myself. And you guys have seen multiple videos where I still blame myself to this day. Because my son actually lost his life doing something that he loved to do. And, you know, if the shoe was on the other foot, and if it was me, that's how I wanted to go. I always told my children, when I go, I want to go doing something that I love to do, you know, which is being on the water. Since I've been out here in Texas, you know, I do still go on the water, but not as much. I think since losing Deontay has actually did something to me where I still love the water sports, but I don't take an interest in it like I used to anymore. But it's hard, man. It's hard. Still right now to this day, 6 years later, it is still hard. It's still hard, man. It's crazy. I look at his obituary all the time. I actually have his obituary sitting right here with me. Today, Deontay is 34 years old, guys. Yep, he's 34 years old today. I'm gonna read you guys part of the obituary, because this is what I want to do for my son. This is what I want to do for my son. It's the obituary. Deontay Antoine Cooper. You guys know all of my boys all have my middle name. Every last one of them. All of my sons' middle name is Antoine. So it says, Deontay Antoine Cooper was born February 5th, 1989 to Sabrina Cooper and Damion Cryer in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He departed this life on Thursday, May 25th, 2017. Deontay loved fishing and spending time with his daughter, family, and friends. As you guys know, Deontay only has one child, which is Tinker. He only has one daughter. He only has one baby, period. And him and his daughter was just like so freaking close. It's like they were inseparable. Like, I remember when Tinker was like 3 years old. When Tinker was 3 years old, Deontay would call me and ask me what was I doing. And I'm like, well, I'm at work, Deontay. I'm like, what are you doing? He'd say, me and Tink is out fishing. That's what he called her, Tink. He said, man, Tink is out fishing. I used to always say, don't you think Tink is a little bit too young to be on the water? But no matter what I said to him, he had her on that water fishing. And right now, to this day, I swear that girl, man, she could outfish me. She could outfish me, hands down. So that's what I said, you know, like, I blame myself because I feel like I'm the one who introduced him to the sport. Even though I blame myself for it all these years, I don't beat myself up over it, you know, if that makes sense. I don't basically just beat myself up. When I say I blame myself, I just feel like I wish I would have introduced him to something else besides that right there. But we're gonna continue. He graduated from high school. He was a construction worker and also self-employed. Right before Deontay had passed, guys, Deontay, he was like me. You know, all of my boys wanted to be like me. This is a true story. You know, all of them. My son Damion, he tell me all the time, Dad, I wanted to be like you so bad when I was younger, because they looked up to me as their dad. You know, and despite what people may have put out there about me, I know I am a good dad. I know I'm a good dad. I'm not a perfect dad. I made a lot of mistakes on the way. And right to this day, I still make mistakes, because I feel like I can't be there for all of my children. Even at the age that there are now, I still feel like that I'm still not all the way there for them, because everybody is so spread it out. But my boys wanted to be like me. Deontay loved doing everything I wanted to do. Anything I wanted to do. You know, I used to feel like at the time, Deontay was the firstborn. And Damion was the baby before Darian got here and before Deon got here. So it was like a tug of war with Deontay and Damion. I remember Deontay would call like, where you at? Oh, I'm at Damon's. Or Damion would call, where you at? Oh, I'm out fishing with Deontay. And I remember one of the last things that me and Deontay did together, and this photo right here, I'm gonna bring this closer so you guys can see this. This photo right here at the bottom and this one at the bottom right here, this wasn't the last time that we spent together, but this is one of the first times in my life I had ever had a drink with my son, ever in my life. I said I would never drink with my kids. I would never smoke weed. Like, you got like some parents, they drink liquor with their children, they smoke weed with them, and there's nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, I'm not knocking them. If you're old enough to do it, that's your business. But I remember New Year's, oh my God. New Year's, it was the same year that Deontay had passed away in 2017. It was the same year he had passed away. It was like a few months earlier. Deon passed away in May. New Year's, which went from 2016 to 2017, I remember I was laying in bed one night, and the person I was with at the time said, "You're not gonna do anything for New Year's?" I said, "Nah." And then my son, Deontay, ended up calling me. He said, "Dad, come over to the house. That's me and you chop it up and kick it." I remember going over to his house, the young lady that he was with at the time, and I remember we went down to this basement. Like, my son, he was so proud. He was just like me, you know, he had his faults. He was in prison, he had got out. He wanted to show Dad, you know, "Hey, I got me a house now, Dad," this and that. You know, trying to flex a little bit. So I went over to his crib. We went in the basement. He had all these bottles of liquor laying out. And he had all these guns, man. I remember I said, "Boy, what are you doing with all these guns?" But who am I to knock my son when I was doing the same thing when I was his age? You remember, when I was in my early 20s, I never seen any of my 20s. I was in prison. But I remember we had got so blasted that night, man. We got tore up, and it was just me and my son. His girlfriend was upstairs with her girlfriends or whatever, because she had company. But me and my son that night, we was in the basement for hours, just drinking, talking, laughing. I remember when midnight had hit, everybody started firing guns off on New Year's, or people pop fireworks and stuff. I remember me and Deontay, we went outside and he gave me this gun. I don't know what it was. This thing was like a cannon. And we was just firing them off, and I was so scared, because I'm like, man, if the police come, we both going to jail because we got firearms. But the chance of police popping up was slim to none, because everybody was shooting guns on New Year's. But it was just shooting them in the air. So that was one of the first times I had ever had a drink with Deontay. This picture right here, I remember Deontay had already had this old school car. This car came from his uncle Jeff that had passed away years earlier. So the car was passed down to my son, and he started putting all the rims on it and all the beats in it and got it painted. And I remember I pulled up one day at the park. And if you guys look, this is a park in the background. You can see all the cars. I actually took this picture of him. He was at the park. He was like, "Dad, I want to show you my little low-key car," because he bought a car, you know, to be like under the radar from the police a little bit. This one was stood out a lot, so he got pulled over a whole lot in this car right here. So I remember pulling up to the park, and he was showing me his little car, and I said, okay, this is real low-key, because nobody's gonna suspect anything. And you guys might wonder, what do I mean low-key and suspect? Y'all know how it is when you in the game back in the day. You gotta make your money, man. You gotta hustle. Back then, people like me who had like a record, a felony, and stuff like that, it was hard for us to get jobs and stuff like that. Nobody really wanted to hire us. Even if we was qualified for the job, would you rather pick someone with a high school education, diploma, college degree, or someone who's qualified for the job but has strikes against them like felonies? So we did what we had to do back in the day. So this picture right here was taken at his mom's house in his yard, and this one was taken at his mom's house in the yard too. So we had some really good times, man, and it's like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Deontay. And you guys probably wondering, why am I smiling now while I'm talking about this? Because normally I'm kind of, you know, tore up about it. Because I realize, you know, that everything happens for a reason. You know, I question myself sometimes, will we ever meet again? Will we ever see each other again? And now I have my answer. I believe that we will see each other again. I believe that we will meet again. I believe that when we meet again, he's going to have a lot to tell me. because he's going to have to catch me up on what he's been doing and what he's been up to. And I'm sure he's going to want to know what I've been up to. I think he knows that he has a little brother that's named after him. I named my youngest son, Deon, after Deonte. The only thing that's changed is the last name. Deon's last name is Cooper. And this Deontay last name is Cooper. And my baby Deon last name is Cryer. But they still have the same initials. So, but anyway, continuing on with the obituary. It says, he leaves to cherish his memory, his daughter, Renaya Cooper Merriweather. That's Tinker. So if you guys did not know Tinker's name, her name is Renaya. Cooper. Parents, Damion Cryer and Sabrina Cooper. Brothers, Levante, Damon Prince, Darian Cryer, Akeem Trumbull. Sisters, Sapira Cooper and Margaret Foster, which is my daughter. And it goes on to talk about like the brothers, the cousins, the uncles and aunties and stuff like that. But the thing is, man, I'm smiling because now I've accepted the fact that I believe that my son is in a better place. I'm smiling now because I believe that we will meet up again one day. I'm smiling now because our parents' worst fear is our kids getting shot out here in the streets. All the crazy stuff that's going on, getting hurt, having a car accident. I'm smiling now because I know that my son is away from all the dangerous stuff that's going on down here and that he is in a better place. I'm smiling now because I've accepted things the way that they are now. You know, I see a lot of stuff. Me being an internet influencer, or, you know, I do YouTube. I'm not going to say influencer. I'm going to say I do YouTube videos. I don't like to toot my horn and say that I'm this big person because I'm not. I'm like everybody else out here. I'm like every other individual out here in the world. I have my struggles every day. I have my pain every day. My mind is always thinking of how to do things better, how to do things different. You know, I'm just a regular person, and like everybody else, I have feelings. And it's times like this that I get so angry, and I say to myself, at 52 years old, I never met my dad. I don't even know this dude's name. I don't even have a picture of him. And sometimes it angers me when I think to myself, why did I have to go through a situation like that in my life and then lose my oldest son like this? But I also smile because I say, well, at least my son got a chance to know who I am. At least my son got to know his dad. You know, because I wasn't always there for my kids. My kids always knew who I was. They knew their dad was Damion Cryer. They knew they had pictures of me. They heard the stories about me. But a lot of children don't get a chance to actually meet their dad because the dad ended up getting locked up or getting killed or strung out. And a lot of times the parents, sometimes the mom don't want to tell their child, hey, your dad is a junkie. Sometimes the mom don't want to tell the child, hey, your dad is in prison. And the reason why that probably is because the mom probably wants the child to think the best of their dad and not the worst. And so I'm just grateful that I got a chance to, you know, be a part of my son's life. And ever since I came home years ago from being locked up, you know, I try to do things different with my life. I try to become a better person, a better dad. I try to be a better role model, even though like I do stuff for entertainment. You guys see me on the internet acting silly, this and that. I mean, that's my job. That's my job. My job is to do what I do every day. I mean, this is the career path that I chose, and I love what I do, and I'm not going to change it for nothing. I'm going to always do what I do now. Even if YouTube goes away tomorrow, I'll probably still upload videos somewhere on IG or something, being silly, because that's just the type of person that I am. But with that being said, you know, I'm just glad, you know, that I'm still here today to keep my son's name uplifted. Because it's like, you guys know, like a couple years ago when I went to the cemetery and I did that video, you know, I feel like that when people pass away, I feel like that they're forgotten about. You know, I feel like people don't really go see them the way that they used to go see them when they first left. I feel like people really don't bring you flowers, and they don't come out to clean off your tombstone, your headstone and stuff. And I just feel like, you know, and I'm not saying that this is true, I'm just saying that's what I feel like. And I'm just hoping that, you know, when my time comes, that when I leaves, that somebody loves me enough to, you know, keep my name alive, even if it is just once a year on my birthday or on Father's Day, you know, because I watched a movie one day. I think it was called A Family to Praise. And in that movie, the lady said, "Are you living or are you just existing?" And that's the reason why I don't want to just exist. I want to live. I want to be remembered for the person I am. I want to be remembered for the mistakes I made. I want to be remembered for the apologies that I made, even if people never accepted them. I want to be remembered for the person I am. I don't ever want to be forgotten. You know, we've all lost a lot of loved ones in our life, you know, and we'll never get them back. But the best thing that you can do is try to create memories with them, man, while they're here. You know, these pictures right here, this is what I have left of my son. These pictures right here is what I have left. He had so much, so much. He had a good heart. He had a good spirit. He smiles a lot, and he's probably smiling right now. Deontay was a good man. He was a good father, a good friend, a good son. You know, but yeah, I don't want to make this video too long, guys. I just wanted to make this video to wish my son a happy birthday in front of the whole world, man. Tell you I love you and I miss you, man. And, you know, we will be seeing each other again soon, man. I promise you that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off this right now because I don't want to make the video too long. I just want to just stop in and just, you know, wish my son a happy birthday. It's crazy how time flies, guys. It's crazy. I remember, I'm gonna tell you guys the story real quick and then I'm gonna end this video off. One day, this is kind of funny though, but this is what I mean by create memories, man. One day I had bought this boat. I actually sold that boat right before I moved out of Fort Wayne and moved to Houston a few years ago. I bought this boat from my neighbor for like $500. I ended up fixing the boat up and had it all decked out, whatever, carpet. There's still old videos up on my channel right now of me actually fixing this boat up and getting the motor together. Those videos are some of the first videos I did on my YouTube channel. I remember when I got that boat fixed up, I was so excited to take the boat out to the water. So me and my son Darian, we actually took the boat out to this river called Shove Park. It's part of like the St. Mary's River in Fort Wayne. It's called Shove Park. And so me and Darian went out there one day on the boat, and we were scared because I had never put the boat in the water. I did all that work on it, but I never put it in the water. So we out there fishing. We found a little spot. It wasn't far out. It was like really close in land because we were still nervous about the boat. Never been on the water since I had owned it. And we found this little spot where we started catching all these crappie. All these little crappie and bluegills. I mean, we were catching them back to back to back to back. So Deontay had called us. And he was like, "Where you and Darian at?" Well, he said Bing Bing because we all called Darian Bing Bing back in the day. I said, "We at Shove Park." He was like, "Well, you want to go tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But Darian gonna be with me." He was like, "Cool, Dad, cool." So that very next day, me and Darian ended up going to Shove Park with the boat on the back of my truck. We pulled up. Deontay was already sitting there in his car waiting on us with that big old smile on his face. He had been sitting there like maybe 30 minutes waiting on us. We get the boat in the water, I park the truck, and we find the same spot that me and Darian was at like the day before. We drop the anchors. Darian is sitting at the front of the boat. I'm at the back of the boat because that's where the motor is at the back of the boat, okay. Deontay is sitting in the middle of the boat. It's a 3-seater. Darian throws his line out there. He's pulling fish out left and right, left and right, left and right. Darian is killing the fish. I wasn't catching anything. Deontay couldn't catch anything. He wasn't getting any bites. But every time Darian threw his line out in the water, boom, he catch another fish. So one time, Darian threw his line out, and while he was pulling the fish, while he was taking the fish off his hook, Deontay decided to throw his line in the spot that Darian had threw his line in. Didn't get any bites. He kept throwing his line out there. He didn't get a bite. Darian takes his fish off, put it in the bucket, throw right back in the same spot that Deontay just threw his line in. Didn't get not one bite. Darian just pulling them out slab by slab. I remember Deontay got so frustrated. He said, "Dad, how does Dean keep catching fish and I'm not getting anything?" I remember looking at him and I said, "You can't hate on him." But I remember Deontay, he was mad. He was literally mad because Darian was catching all those fish and he wasn't catching nothing. But I just want to just share that with you guys. But anyway, I'm finna close this down, man. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time out your day to watch this video, man. I love you guys, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.